Hi guys, I'm Erin and I'm Katie Jade for most people, and I'm going to do a vlog on emetophobia. I've had emetophobia for about 10 years, though I can't really pinpoint an exact time when it started for me. I just can't ever remember not being worried. Anyways, emetophobia is a fear of vomit or vomiting, and for me, it affects me in the way that I am terrified of being around people who are being sick. With myself, I'm not so bad, because, well, I don't really know why, but I can deal with it because it's not pleasant, but it's not a big deal. But when it's somebody else, I have awful panic attacks, awful, embarrassing panic attacks, where I tend to just cover my ears and cry and hyperventilate, and I think I scream as well sometimes. They're pretty embarrassing, but so far in my life, the only people who have actually seen me panicking are my mum, my dad, and my boyfriend Aaron. But it's still embarrassing. I don't like kind of being like that around them. There are a lot of people who have this, and there was never really a point in my life where I realized, there was. My mum got sick at one point, and I flipped out, and I went to Aaron's house to try and get away from her because, well, if it was going to be a long term, like a stomach virus or something, it wouldn't really be pleasant for her to be around me when I was panicking and she wasn't feeling well. And it wouldn't be good for me because I'd always be panicking. And, nobody likes feeling anxious all the time. So I went to Aaron's house and stayed at his place for a week, even though my dad said that if I left the house he was gonna kick me out, which wasn't so nice, but I guess what can you do? So I went and sorted everything out, and then started seeing various array of therapists and people to try and fix me. But I guess it's a long-term thing. I'm currently doing CBT, cognitive behavioral therapy, which seems to be helping more than anything else. I tried counselling, which really didn't help because my counsellor had no idea what I was talking about, like in terms of my fear, and I tried hypnotherapy, which was good for the first kind of maybe 3 or 4 days after my sessions, but I couldn't afford to take a session every 3 or 4 days because it was almost $150 a session, and that's just, it's crazy. So, and Medicare doesn't kind of cover that, which is, rather annoying. But at the moment, yeah, I'm doing CBT, and I have an amazing therapist who really understands and, comes up with the best ways to help me rather than, what might help everybody else with anxiety, which is nice. And we go through various, homework exercises that I can do in between sessions, and she's been doing guided visualizations, which are scary as hell, but they seem to be helping, I hope. Things that make me anxious, I have a little list here of what I'm talking about. Things that make me anxious are, well, on the grand scheme of things, I guess people being ill, but under the kind of that blanket term, actually no, people and animals being ill, because I freak out when my puppy gets sick, and he gets sick because he eats everything. And then I get angry at him because even though I know he's a puppy and he doesn't know any better, my anxiety gets, it sounds really stupid, gets really angry with him, which is unfortunate because, you know, I love him. He's really cute. But yeah, things that make me anxious. I don't like being, like, when people say they feel ill, I usually try and get away from them as fast as possible, just in case. Which happens with my boyfriend a lot. He tends to get a bit ill sometimes, and it's not his fault or anything, but I just have to, I either run away or cry. Being on trains at night freaks me out a whole lot because I went to the soccer one time and I took the train home, and it was a Friday night, and a guy had been drinking and vomited all over the train, and it just freaked me right out. And ever since then, I've just been so scared of going on the train at night. I don't like being around people with chest infections in case they cough too much. I don't like... hospitals make me uncomfortable because sick people go to hospitals. Which is unfortunate because my therapist is in consulting suites at a hospital, which coincidentally are right next to the midwife consulting rooms. So there's a lot of mothers with morning sickness, and they're all sitting there with their plastic bags, and it screws with my head. But those are kind of the main things that freak me out, as well as people. I don't like it when people try new foods around me in case it doesn't agree with them, I suppose. But I try and kind of stay away from those kind of things. When I have a panic attack, the only people who calm me down are my mum and recently Aaron, when I've gotten scared of my dog being sick, because I don't know why, just because they always seem to be able to say the right things. And though I've never spoken to her when I've been having a panic attack, if I've been just feeling anxious or feeling really down about myself, which happens a bit because, you know, you kind of feel really silly having a phobia like this, because it's just something that happens, isn't it? You know, people get sick, it's a fact of life, but it just feels kind of silly at times, and you just feel stupid. Well, I do. And she always makes me feel better about it, and that's my friend Jen. So hi, Jen. I just want to say thank you to her because she's pretty incredible, and she always knows the right things to say to make me feel better about myself and about the whole situation. I guess because she knows what it feels like to be scared of this and how it feels to panic all the time about this. And she's gorgeous, and I love her. I love her. I guess that's all I have to say. I might make this a regular thing depending on how I'm going, I suppose. So yeah, this is, yeah, good night.